So now it's time to make the ears. So it says with white yarn, row 1, chain 7. So with the white yarn again, I'm going to slip knot onto hook and chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Rows 2 to 5 say chain 1, double crochet 7 for a total of 7 stitches. So this is familiar from previous patterns. They don't do working in rows very well. They don't write it down very well. So for one thing, I normally put the chain count and turn at the end of a row, but for some reason with these Harry Potter ones, they choose to do their amount of chains at the beginning of the rounds, and they also don't tell you to turn. So they are assuming that you know to turn. So for rows 2 to 5, they want us to chain 1, turn, and then single crochet across 7 stitches. So this chain 1 here will be our turning chain. So I have 7 chains at the minute. So what I need to do is chain an extra 1. And then from the second chain from hook, so we always ignore the first chain. And then from the second chain from hook, I'm going to single crochet across for a total of 7 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So I have 7 single crochets. I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. So that was row 2. And then I'm going to repeat that for rows 3, 4 and 5. So I'm going to repeat what I've just done for another 3 rows. So single crochet across 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Chain 1 and turn. Do it again. So single crochet 7. 1. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to do this one more time. So single crochet 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Chain 1 and turn. So we are now up to row 6. We've already done our chain 1, and it says double crochet 5, decrease 6 times. So we're going to single crochet 5, then we're going to single crochet 2 stitches together for a total of 6 stitches. So single crochet 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then single crochet the last 2 stitches together. Chain 1 and turn. So which row are we up to? Row 7 says double crochet 4, decrease. So we're going to single crochet 4 and then single crochet 2 stitches together for a total of 5 stitches. So I'm going to single crochet 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and now single crochet 2 stitches together for number 5. Chain 1 and turn. Row 8, double crochet 3, decrease. So we are going to single crochet 3 and then single crochet 2 stitches together for a total of 4 stitches. So single crochet 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then single crochet 2 together for 4, chain 1 and turn. Now it tells us to double crochet 2, decrease for 3 stitches. So we are going to single crochet 2, single crochet 2 stitches together for a total of 3 stitches. Single crochet 2, 1 and 2, single crochet 2 together for 3, chain 1 and turn. Row 10 says double crochet 1 and then decrease, so we will single crochet 1 and then we will single crochet 2 stitches together. Seems to be a flare on the camera. Hope everything seems really bright. I hope you can see this. So sorry, row 10, double crochet 1, double decrease, so we are going to single crochet 1, single crochet 2 stitches together for a total of 2 stitches. So single crochet 1, oh there we go, it's gone back to normal now. Single crochet 2 stitches together, chain 1 and turn. I can put my lights back. And then row 11, the last row of the ears says decrease for a total of 1 stitch. So it's gone really bright again. It just must be this light. Give it a second. I think that's a bit better. I had my light shining right at this piece of paper and it was creating a flare. So row 11, decrease, so we're going to single crochet the last 2 stitches together. And then we are going to chain 1 to fasten off, and we are going to cut the yarn tail. Then it tells us finish off, which we have done, sew to either side of head. So I'm going to put one of these ears aside. I'm not going to do all my sewing till the end. And now you need to go and make a second ear. So follow the instructions I've just done to create the second ear. So next we're going to make the arms, and we have to make 2 of these using white yarn. So round 1 says 6 double crochet in magic ring. So we're going to do 6 single crochets in 2 and magic ring. So I'm going to slip knot onto hook and I'm going to chain 2, 1 and 2. And into the second chain from hook, I'm going to do 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Where are we up to? Round 2 says double crochet into each double crochet around. So we are going to single crochet into every stitch around, and we'll have 6 stitches at the end of this round. So we're going to single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So round 3 says increase double crochet 1 3 times. So we are going to single crochet 2 into the first stitch, followed by a single crochet 3 times for a total of 9 stitches. So into the first stitch, increase for 1 and 2, followed by a single crochet for 3. Into the next stitch, increase for 4 and 5, followed by a single crochet for stitch number 6. Then into the next stitch, increase for stitches 7 and 8, followed by a single crochet for stitch number 9. So we now have 9 single crochets, and rounds 4 to 14, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So for 4 rounds it wants us to double crochet into each double crochet around. So we're going to single crochet into every stitch around, and we're going to do that for 11 rounds. So 11 rounds of single crochet, and I'll meet you back here soon. So my 11 rounds are done, and it says finish off, stuff and join to body. So to finish off, I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch to join, chain 1, and then I'm going to use my scissors to cut the tail. And I'm going to leave a longer yarn tail because we'll use that to sew the arm onto the body shortly. So you need to go away and make another one of these, and we're going to stuff them and we'll sew it onto the body in a little bit. So next, let's make the legs. So make 2 with white yarn. So we're going to make 2 of these again. So to begin with, round 1, 6 double crochet in a magic ring. So we're going to do 6 single crochet into a magic ring. Slip knot onto hook and chain 2. 1 and 2. And into the second chain from hook, 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Round 2 says increase 6 times, so we're going to do 2 single crochet into every stitch around for a total of 12 stitches. So we're going to increase in every stitch. So into the first stitch we're going to single crochet for 1 and 2, increase in the next stitch for 3 and 4, increase in the next stitch for 5 and 6, increase in the next for 7 and 8, increase in the next for 9 and 10, and then increase in the last stitch of this round for 11 and 12. So round 3 says double crochet 4, increase 4 times, double crochet 4. So we are going to single crochet 4 stitches, then we're going to increase, so we're going to do 2 single crochets into the next 4 stitches, and then we're going to single crochet the last 4 stitches of this round for a total of 16 stitches. So we're going to single crochet 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and now we're going to increase in the next 4 stitches. So we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next 4 stitches. 1 and 2 into the first stitch, 3 and 4 into the second stitch, 5 and 6 into the third stitch, 7 and 8 into the fourth stitch. So these increases, I'm assuming, are going to be where Dobby's toes are. Then we're going to finish this round with 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now round 4 says in back loops only, double crochet 16. So in the back loops only, we are going to single crochet around. So for those who don't know, every stitch has a front and back loop, and it'll be hard. Let me see if I can, how far I can get you to zoom in. So every stitch has a front loop and a back loop, and when you do an ordinary crochet, we go through both legs of the stitch, but for this round only, we're going to be going into the back loop. So this loop here is the front loop, and the loop furthest away from you is the back loop. So we're going to do this whole round in the back loop only. So I will stay zoomed in so you can see. So we're going to do 16 single crochets in the back loop only. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Just take extra time to make sure it's the back loop. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14, 15 and 16. So we've done all them single crochets in the back loop, which leaves a rim. Can you see the rim that's left? So this just means that when the foot's on the floor, there's going to be a separation from the bottom and the side. So that's why we would do things like the front and back stitches. So we've done round 4, which was in the back loops, and now for round 5 we're going to double crochet into each double crochet around. So for round 5 we're just normally going to single crochet around 16 stitches again. So we're going to go back through both legs or both loops of the stitch, and we're going to single crochet 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. So round 6 says in the back loops only, double crochet 4, decrease 4 times, double crochet 4. So we are going to, in the back loops only, single crochet 4, single crochet 2 stitches together 4 times, and then we're going to finish with single crochet 4. So again, we're only going to be working in the back loops only of this next round. So in the back loops, single crochet 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now in the back loops we're going to single crochet 2 stitches together 4 times. So into the back loop, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. Insert your hook into the back loop of the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. So there are 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and we've just decreased in the back loops. So we're going to do that another 3 times. So that was twice, 3 times, and lastly for the 4th time. So we've decreased 4 times. Now we're going to single crochet 4 stitches in the back loops only. 1, 2, 3 and 4. There we go. So round 7 says double crochet into each double crochet. So we're going to single crochet into every stitch around for 12 stitches. So again, going through both legs of the stitch, single crochet 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Nearly 12 and 12. So round 8 says decrease, double crochet 2, 4 times for 9 stitches. So that's wrong. And can you see why it's wrong? Well, it's wrong because if we decreased 4 times, the end number would be 8. But it only wants us to do 3 decreases because we've gone from 12 stitches to 9, and that's a difference of 3. So it wants us to single crochet 2 stitches together and then single crochet 2, and it only wants us to do that 3 times, not 4. So they've made an error here, but luckily enough we've been able to identify it. So single crochet 2 stitches together, single crochet 2, 3 times for a total of 9 stitches. So decrease for 1, single crochet 2 and 3, decrease for 4, single crochet 5 and 6, decrease for 7, and then single crochet for 8 and 9. So we have 9 stitches, and for rounds 9 to 14, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, for 6 rounds it wants us to double crochet into each double crochet around. So we are going to single crochet into every stitch around for 6 rounds. So 6 rounds of single crochet, and I'll meet you back here soon. After you've finished all your rounds, slip stitch in the next stitch to join, then chain 1 and cut the yarn tail. Make sure to leave enough tail to sew this onto Dobby in a little bit. Now we need to stuff this boot and go and make another one. So next we're going to be making the nose, and it says with white yarn 6 double crochet into a magic ring. So we're going to do 6 single crochet into a magic ring. So with our hook, slip knot onto it and chain 2, 1 and 2. Then into the second chain from hook, do 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Row 2 and 3 says double crochet into each double crochet around. So we're going to do single crochet into these 6 stitches twice. So 2 rounds of single crochet. So we have nearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then 1 more round of single crochet. So I'm going to make sure the nose is turned the right way. So 1 more round of single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So now round 4 says increase 6 times. So we're going to do 2 single crochets into every stitch around 6 times for a total of 12 stitches. So increase for 1 and 2, increase for 3 and 4, increase for 5 and 6, increase for 7 and 8, increase for 9 and 10, then increase in the last stitch for 11 and 12. So rows 5 to 6, so 2 rows or 2 rounds says double crochet into each double crochet around. So we're going to single crochet into these 12 stitches for 2 rounds. So 2 rounds of single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24. So the next round for the nose says double crochet 1, increase 6 times for a total of 18 stitches. So we're going to single crochet 1 and then increase, so 2 single crochets in the next stitch 6 times for a total of 18. So single crochet 1 and increase in the next stitch for 2 and 3. Single crochet 4, increase in the next stitch for 5 and 6. Single crochet 7, increase in the next for 8 and 9. Single crochet 10, do that single crochet 10, increase in the next stitch for 11 and 12, single crochet 13, increase in the next stitch for 14 and 15, single crochet 16, and increase in the last stitch for 17 and 18. So finish off, stuff and join to head. So I'm going to join by doing a slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 1, and then cut this tail and pull through. And I'm going to leave this longer tail to sew it onto Dobby. So all the little parts of Dobby's body are done now. So I'm going to stuff the parts and then sew them together, or sew them onto the body. So here he is all sewn together. So without the nose, I was actually getting gremlin vibes. But the legs are at the bottom, obviously arms on the side, nose in the middle of the face, and his ears are either side. So we have his eyes left to do, his tabard, and obviously his little sock. So we will do his eyes first. So if I bring this back in, eyes are made with black yarn, and obviously you have to make 2 of these. So round 1, 3 double crochet into a magic ring, slip stitch, fasten off and leave a long tail for sewing. So we are going to do 3 single crochets into a magic ring, join it with a slip stitch, fasten off, and then sew them into place on the head. So I'm going to start with a slip knot onto my hook, chain 2, and into the second chain from hook, 3 single crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. Then I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that we did and chain 1 to fasten off. Cut the yarn, leaving a tail, and this is one of the eyes, and here is the second. So now we can pop these into place and sew them on. So it says sew eyes between rounds 9 and 10 of head, leaving 6 stitches between them. So with the starting tail of the eye, so the slip knot tail, I'm going to pop that onto my needle. I'm going to bring Dobby back in, and I'm going to count down 9 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So his eyes are going to go in between row 9 and 10, which is about here. So I'm just going to pop that in. And his eyes are 6 stitches apart. So if I put the tail of the second eye on my needle, let's count over 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, sorry, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, it's more like 8 stitches for me. So let's have a look. So there is eyes, and it worked out are about 7 stitches apart. So you just want to put them where you feel that they look right. I hate doing eyes like this where you just make small circles out of yarn, because I always think they look like poltergeists. They just never look good, but it's what it says in the pattern, so it's what we're doing. So now putting the yarn tail on my needle, I'm going to sew these eyes into place. So eyes are done and sewn on, and it's time to start his tabard. So pop him aside, and here we go. We're going to begin with the tabard. So we make 2 of these, so I'm assuming you make the front and the back, and then we sew them into place around Dobby. So let's have a look, using cream yarn. So I'm going to grab my yarn, grab my needle, and it says chain 18. So I'm going to slip knot onto my hook, and I'm going to chain 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. And it says don't work into the chain 1s and the chain 2s at the beginning of rows. So again, they're putting their turning chains at the beginning of rows instead of at the end. So it's just a nuisance, but we'll go with what they've done. So for row 2, it says chain an extra 1 and then double crochet 18. So we're going to do an extra chain, and then into the second chain from hook, we're going to single crochet across all chains. So we'll have 18 single crochets. So we've got 18 chains. I'm going to do another one for 19, and then from the second chain, so we leave the first chain, and then from the second chain I'm going to single crochet back into all these chains for a total of 18. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. So row 3 says chain 2, treble 18 for 18 stitches. So treble in the UK is a half double crochet in the US. So for row 3, I'm going to chain 2 and turn, and then I'm going to do 18 half double crochets across for a total of 18 stitches. So chain 2 and turn, and I'm going to do 18 half double crochets. So yarn over, insert hook into stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. There are 3 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and that's my first half double crochet. So I'm going to do 18 in total. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. So we've got 18 half double crochets. Now it tells us to repeat rows 2 and 3 twice more. So we're going to repeat row 2 and row 3 twice more. So row 2, chain 1, double crochet 18. So we're going to chain 1, turn and single crochet 18. Chain 1 and turn, 18 single crochets. Then row 3, chain 2, treble 18. So we're going to chain 2 and turn, half double crochet 18. Chain 2 and turn, half double crochet 18. Then we're going to do them 2 rows again. So chain 1, turn our work, single crochet across 18 stitches. Now row 3 again, we're going to chain 2 and half double crochet back across these 18 stitches. So row 8 says chain 1 and turn, decrease, double crochet 4 3 times for 15 stitches. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, single crochet 2 stitches together, single crochet 4 3 times, for a total of 15. So chain 1 and turn, then single crochet 2 stitches together, and then single crochet 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Do that 3 more times. Single crochet 2 stitches together, single crochet 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Oh. Do that one more time. I got my numbers confused before. Single crochet 2 together, single crochet 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So row 9 says chain 2, treble 15. So we're going to chain 2 and turn, then half double crochet 15 stitches. So chain 2, turn our work, half double 15 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Row 10 says chain 1 and turn, decrease, double crochet 3 times for 12 stitches. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, single crochet 2 stitches together, and single crochet 3 times. Chain 1 and turn, and then single crochet 2 stitches together, and then single crochet 3. 1, 1, 2 and 3. Do that twice more. Single crochet 2 together, single crochet 3. 1, 2 and 3. Once more, single crochet 2 together, single crochet 3. 1, 2 and 3. So row 11, chain 2, treble 12. So we will chain 2 and turn, half double crochet 12 stitches. Chain 2, turn our work, half double crochet 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Row 12, chain 1, double crochet 12. So we will chain 1 and turn, then we'll single crochet 12 stitches, chain 1 and turn, single crochet 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, and then repeat rows 11 and 12 once more. So row 11 was chain 2, 1 and 2, turn, half double crochet 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, and then repeat row 12 one more time. So chain 1 and 10. Now we're going to single crochet across these 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. And it tells us finish off, join one shoulder seam, put tabard on Dobby, and join the second shoulder seam, join side seams. So it's been really elaborate there, but we're going to join and fasten off, leaving a yarn tail, and pull through. And you need to make a second piece because we're going to have one for the front and one for the back. So I'm going to bring Dobby in, and I'm going to do the shoulder seams first. So I'm going to put one of the yarn tails onto my needle, and I'm going to hold the tabard over the front, then bring the second one into the back, and I'm going to sew 2 stitches together on the side just to keep it in place. There we go. And I'm just going to weave that tail in a little bit. I'll sort the tails out again and properly in a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to hold the pieces together and sew 2 stitches from the top of both the tabards together. I suppose you have to remember this doesn't have to be neat because he is an house elf and he doesn't wear very good clothes. So I suppose the messier this looks, the better. And then I'm going to weave this tail down the back of the tabard a bit, tabard. Then I can use this same tail that I've just weaved down to find underneath his arm. And then I'm just going to sew from underneath his arm to the bottom of the tabard together. So I'm using the same tail that I used to sew the top together. It just saves me adding a load of yarn tails in and having to weave a load of pieces in as well. So I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. And then on the bottom stitch, I'm going to go over that stitch a couple of times. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the first side. So I can weave that tail through the stitches to just beneath his arm. And then sew up from just underneath his arm to the bottom. Now it's time for me to weave in all these yarn tails, and then there's one last thing to do, which is make his sock. So I'm going to weave in these tails, then I'll meet you back here to make his sock. So we are on to the last thing now, which is his sock. So it says using grey yarn, so I'm going to bring in the grey yarn and open it up. Round 1 says chain 8, join into a ring with a slip stitch. So we're going to slip knot onto hook, and we're going to chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Then we're going to slip stitch into the first chain to join and form a loop. So we have a little loop here. So round 2 to 7, double crochet into each double crochet around. So for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, so for 6 rounds it wants us to single crochet into every stitch around. So for the first round we're going to have to chain 1, and now we're going to do 8 single crochets around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Nearly 8. So we've done our first round of single crochet around, and we've got 5 more to do, and because it doesn't instruct us otherwise, we're just going to continue to single crochet around in a spiral. So single crochet around for 5 more rounds. So I've done my 6 rounds of single crochet, and now round 8 it gets a little bit fuzzy here. It says chain 3 in second chain from hook, double crochet 1, double crochet 1, double crochet 8, double crochet 2 in foundation round. And this just tells me that this person who wrote this doesn't know what they're talking about. This is the most inaccurate way of writing a pattern. But I'm going to try and decipher it for you, because I think this is fixable. We've done some of these patterns where things aren't fixable and we've had to go away and make our own up. But I kind of know, or I kind of think I know what they're trying to say. So chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. And now it wants us second chain from hook, double crochet 1, double crochet 1. So it wants us to do 2 single crochets. So skip the first chain, and in the second and third chain from hook, do a single crochet in each. Now it says double crochet 8, and this means the 8 stitches that are already around the sock base. So now we're going to continue to single crochet around the 8 stitches on the base. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So we've just single crocheted 8 around the tube of the sock. Then it says double crochet 2 in foundation row. So working in the opposite side of the chain 3 we created, which would be a foundation chain, it wants us to do a single crochet in the back of each of these 2 stitches. So I'm going to do 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. So now we have 8 stitches of the tube of the sock, and then we have 2 stitches on this side of the foundation chain, and we have 2 stitches on this side of the foundation chain. So we now have 12 stitches working in the round. So really hope that makes sense, because on round 9 it wants us to increase. So we're going to do 2 single crochet, well it says increase, double crochet 10, increase. So we're going to do 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet 10, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets into the last stitch of this round. So into the first stitch we're going to do 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and now we're going to single crochet 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, And now we're going to do 2 single crochets into the next stitch. So 1 and 2 into that next stitch, and now we have a total of 14 stitches. Rounds 10 and 11 says double crochet in each double crochet round. So for 2 rounds we're going to single crochet around these 14 stitches. So 2 rounds of single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Then that was 1 row, so let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. So that's our second row. And lastly it says finish off, sew up the bottom of the foot and attach the hand. So they're really clear with their instructions again. So we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch to join, chain 1, cut the yarn tail, leaving a tail, and if I hold it on the side, because I know grey is not the easiest colour to see, you'll see the shape of the sock. So the chain 3 is here on the toe, and now what it wants us to do is to sew this bottom closed. It doesn't really tell us much of how to do that, so I need to, first of all, I need to find my embroidery needle. Got it. Then I need to attach the tail onto the needle, I'm going to push these yarn ends into the foot so they all get sewn up inside. And I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm going to hold the bottom of the foot together and I'm going to sew it up. All the way up. And then I'm going to take the yarn tail and I'm going to pass it to the top of the work, and I'm going to use it now to sew the sock onto Dobby's hand. So you can put it on whichever hand that you want. So I will put it on what will be this hand and I'm going to sew it into place. When you're sewing things together and you're using the method that I am, make sure you always go back into the same stitch so that you don't leave a mark. So I'm going to do one more stitch. And then I'm going to cut this yarn tail off. And voila! We have a completed Dobby. So there is the completed Dobby. To be honest, it wasn't as bad as the other Wisdom Wells that I've done. The yarn is still bad quality yarn and the pattern is still written really poorly, but I didn't come into as many troubles as I did with the Harry Potter one, for example. So I hope this helps some of you out and I hope that you are able to complete your Dobby dolls. And other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye now. For those of you who enjoy doing these crochet kits, if you take a look at my website or my Etsy store, which will be linked down below, I do actually sell my own crochet kits and my own crochet patterns. On my website specifically, there's also a page with tons and tons of free crochet patterns. So if you get a spare minute, why don't you head over and have a little look?